A little budget project that I just worked out. Probably it could be obvious to most people, but I really like these Xterra goggles, but the rubber keeps snapping, like you can see here. So I've got, normally if these goggles are cheap, they're like $8 from Xterra. Their problem is you get killed on the postage, so I'd buy 3-4 pairs at a time, and when it snaps I just throw them in the trash. And then one day, I don't know, I just thought, why don't they make replacement straps? And sure enough, they do. These bungee kind of straps, really easy to put on. I got three pairs of bungee straps for $6 from Amazon. So I can replace these cords. I'll test them out when I'm in the pool next. But it's 2 pairs that I saved from having to bin. And I think I've got another pair that's broken somewhere. I might go and dig them out for the final set. On my bike, I've just put these water bottle holders. I took my aero holders off and put these on just so that I can carry these, because these big bottles fit in there nicely. I got less concern of being aero and fast and more with just being comfortable and carrying the right stuff. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the cockpit yet. I'm kind of tempted to keep it the same. So I'm going to carry one bottle here, one bottle here, and I'll carry like tools or something in there, and just a bit of food in here, and then have nothing in my pockets on the bike, because I really like this mount here. It's a good, just at the right level to see the computer, so I think I'm going to keep it the same. I do have this, which also has a, if I can find it, this has another mount, so this goes on here, and the computer goes on the front, but I don't really like it because I've got to tilt my head down slightly to see the computer. The only other thing I've got to figure out is I've got a compulsory, you've got to carry a bike light, so I've got to try and figure out where I want to mount that light as well. Another option I can do is I have a mount, the typical ones that look like this. If you can see this one here, I've got a spare one of these, so that this does the Garmin on the top, and you can see the GoPro on the bottom. So I can take this part off and put that mount sticking further out here, so that or probably more like down the bottom here, to have the computer very squeezed in here, have the light on the bottom facing at the front, and light mounted with the GoPro. But I'm just going to play around with it and come up with a decision. This cheap toolbox, I think they're like $8 or $9 from Home Depot. I use it to store all my bike parts and tools and stuff until I bought that new red one. So I've just gone and given it a bit of a clean out. Still drying. I probably should have left this open. So I just kind of cleaned it out the best that I could. I'm going to take this in the car to Florida and use it to store my spare bike parts, so extra pedals, extra chains, tools to repair and stuff. It'll be just nice. It can probably go on the feet of the passenger row, so it doesn't even take up room in the back, and I can just pull it out if I need it in an emergency. So I'm just doing my long ride for the week, much shorter this week. It's only 3.5 hours, so I'm ticking off the London reverse pretzel on Zwift. I thought I'd do a bit of a recap where I'm at. 2 weeks, I'm in the first week of taper. I got through my full block without being injured, thank God. In terms of injury, I entered training with a sore ankle that I heard at New York, Ironman 70.3 New York. Went to went to my friend first, podiatrist, got me orthotics. I've run on them no problem the whole time. I managed to do all my running, no issue, but the ankle's always been an issue, especially when I don't wear my orthotics. Went to see an orthopedic surgeon, went for MRI. He said there's 4 tendons in my ankle. One of them is torn and 3 of them have tendonitis. He said I could have some surgery to fix it. He said I don't want surgery because it feels fine, like, I can run and ride perfectly fine. Surgery seems excessive. Some other doctor contacted me and said, just go to a physio and do some rehab. I freaking hate physios, so I said, yeah, sure. I'm not going to go. I didn't tell her that. and I asked, can I get a cortisone injection? Just because when I run, like, I'd rather not feel it, because if you can feel it, it kind of plays out in the back of your mind. I'd rather be fully focused on my run form, like I like to think of my form from head to toe. That's kind of like a mental game I got from my run coach Andy. I think it's quite effective. You don't want to be running and then there's this ache coming from your ankle, but I believe I'm 100% fit going into the actual race, besides that ankle obviously, which is not a factor. The other issue that I've had is saddle sores. They were a real inconvenience, like they're really uncomfortable. I'm sure anyone that's had them knows. When I was doing long 8+ hour rides, it's a bit of a torture. Sitting on the bike, that's all cleaned up. I still have the quite effective medication, some left over, so if it comes again then I can clean it up. So I've been riding pain-free for a while now. In terms of little niggles, just a bit of my hip flexor. I think it's the top of my IT band on the hip. It feels quite lumpy and sore, and it hurts a bit to walk sometimes. I've got a 3¼ hour run, 25 kilometers, super slow. So probably more like 25 Ks. I'll probably do that in like 2 hours 45 instead. The following week is 1.5 hours. So tomorrow's kind of my last major run. That's going to give me a good indication of where that hip is at and if it will hold up. Because I'm in taper, if I feel anything, I'm just going to shut it down right away. Nothing to be gained fitness-wise between now and the race. In terms of my preparation, I've made a list on Google or notes, and I just keep adding to it. So what I can do is a couple of days before, just go and gather everything up and throw it all together. I'm going to show you a few things that I'm preparing, but most of it I'm going to toss in boxes and suitcase or whatever on top bags the day before and take it, because as long as it's on that list I won't forget anything. Because a lot of it I kind of keep using between now and then, so I don't want to pack it away and then have to get it back out again, and I might forget to put it back. And then some food I'll probably buy down there. But I think I'm pretty well prepared. It's just the drive. Drive is going to be a pain in the ass. But it's going to be weird. It's been -9 Celsius here. Frozen, snow everywhere. Tomorrow's going to be 19 Celsius. For my final long run and final head out. So that's where I'm at. Last week is a full week. Sorry, next week is a full week, and then on Monday I'll drop my daughters at school and then head straight for Florida. So I'm getting ready for my last sort of decent sized run. It's 25 kilometers, which I think is about 15 miles, in 3 hours 15. I don't think I can run that slow. More realistically, if I go really slow, I think 2 hours 45. So I'm going to take a bottle with Morton, and also just a bottle of water, head for Manayunk, which is along the path, and come back. I think that's about 12.5 K at least each way. I just wanted to show this goo. I always carry my goo in these things here. They're like $12. It says that it can hold 5, but obviously, if I can get that closer, obviously you can see at the top there's room for way more, probably more like 7 if you stuff it in there. So what you do, buy these packs, 15 serves, they're like $14 or something like that, whereas an individual sachet of goo costs about $2 each, so they're about 50% off doing it this way. The only problem is, as you can see, the crap gets left in there. It's quite hard to wash out. So I've got another one here to show you. What I do is fill it up with really hot water from out the tap and just leave it in there for a while and just kind of squish it around and massage it, and it kind of breaks the goo down and cleans it. That's the only effective way I've found to clean it. It's quite a pain in the ass, and I'll do that twice, and then it will be good to go to be refilled with a new flavor.